In Topic 3, we will talk about independence and interaction among organisms, and between organism and the environment. An ecosystem is a community, made up of living organisms, and non-living components, such as air, water, and mineral soil. In an ecosystem, animals and plants with different species are directly or indirectly interdependent on each other, to form a community. And this community interact with the environment they are living in, to obtain food and habitat. A habitat is the natural surrounding, or shelter for an organism. An ecosystem is formed from an organism species. This species develop into population, community, and eventually, ecosystem. A species is referring to a group of organisms that have same characteristics and breed together. Population is a group of a same species organism that live together in the same habitat. A community is formed when a few population of different species live together in the same habitat. An ecosystem is formed when a few communities living in a same habitat and interacts with each other and non-living component from the habitat, such as the soil, water, air, mineral, and the sunlight. A balanced ecosystem is achieved when the organisms within it interdependent and interact with each other harmoniously, without external disturbances. Now, we talk about the importance of adaptive of living thing to the environment. An adaptation is a mutation or genetic change that helps an organism, such as a plant or animal, to survive in its environment, since the environment is keep changing. Without the capability of adaptation, organisms unable to survive in their habitat. The environment of the habitat is depending on the climate and location on the earth. For example, desert, tundra, and tropical area. Let's see the adaptation of the species in desert. In desert, the climate is extremely hot and dry. We first see the adaptation characteristics of plants. Example, cactus, they have leaves shaped like thorn. Thorn has very small surface area, it will help to reduce water loss. Cactus has long root, this is for it to absorb more water. Cactus has thick waxy surface, this is for it to reduce water loss. About the adaptation characteristics of animals in desert. Camel is the typical animal that live in desert. Camels have hump to store water and food. In desert, animals have large ears to release heat. The following are the subject about adaptation of the species in tundra area. The climate in tundra area is extremely cold. The following is the adaptation characteristics of plants. Height of trees is lesser than 1 meter. Plants in tundra have very short growing seasons, this is 3 months perhaps. And so plants can only photosynthesize and store sugars for this amount of time. Plants in the tundra area have short root, because the permafrost prevents plants from sending their roots down past the active layer of soil. The active layer of soil is free from ice for only 50 to 90 days per year. About the adaptation characteristics of animals in tundra. The animals in tundra have thick layer of body fat under the skin, and also thick fur to reduce the heat loss from body. Now, we will talk about the adaptation of living thing in tropical area. Tropical area is an area with heavy rain and sunlight throughout the year. The following are the adaptation characteristics of plants in tropical area. The plants in tropical area have buttress root. Buttress roots are large, wide roots on all sides of a shallowly rooted tree. Typically, they are found in nutrient-poor rainforest soils, and do not penetrate to deeper layers. They prevent the tree from falling over, while also gathering more nutrients. The plants in tropical area have waxy leaf. The purpose of this waxy layer on leaf is to help the plant to retain water. The tropical area, especially in the rainforest, are tall. As the trees are competing with each other, to obtain more sunlight for their photosynthesis. This about the adaptation characteristics of animals in tropical area. They have skin that can camouflage. This prevent them to be preyed by others. Some of the animals have long limbs, because they need it to pick fruit. Birds in the tropical area is with big beaks. We continue the lesson with topic, interaction between organisms. The organisms in an ecosystem interact with each other, can be any three of the following interaction relationship. The first is symbiosis, at which organisms live together and benefit from each other. The second is prey-predator. The third is competition. These three relationships will be detailed in the following section of the lesson. We first talk about the symbiosis relationship between organisms. Symbiosis relationship between organisms is a close connection between different types of organisms, at which they live together and benefit from each other. There are three types of symbiosis interaction. The first is mutualism. This interaction will bring benefit to both organisms. The second is commensalism. This interaction will bring benefit to only one organism, without harming the benefits of others' organism. The third is parasitism. This interaction will bring benefit to only one organism, and harm others' organism benefits. These three kinds of the symbiosis interaction will be detailed in the following section. The first symbiosis relationship is mutualism. Mutualism is the interaction between two organisms, and this interaction will bring benefit to both organisms. The organisms involved in this interaction can be occurred in between plant and plant, occurred in between animals and animals, for example, mynas and bulls. At this relationship, mynas eat the leeches from bulls, whereas bulls get free from leeches. Mutualism that occurs in between animals and plant, for example, butterfly and flower. Butterfly consume honey from flower, whereas flower get pollen grains from butterfly. The second type of symbiosis is commensalism. Commensalism is the interaction between two organisms, and this will bring benefit to only one organism, without harming the benefits of others' organism. The benefited organism is called commensal, and the another is called host. For example, remora fish and sharks. Remora also called sucker fish, at which remora take a free ride from the shark to get water fluid through its gills for its respiration. The commensalism relationship occurs in between staghorn fern and trees, at which staghorn fern able to get more sunlight in the higher location. The third type of symbiosis interaction is parasitism. Parasitism is the interaction between two organisms, and this interaction will bring benefit to only one organism and harm others' organism. The benefited organisms is called parasite, and another is called host. For example, lice and human, where lice is the parasite, and it suck the blood from human, and human get disease. Another example is rafflesia and trees. Rafflesia is the parasite, and tree is the host. Where rafflesia grow on tree trunk, and absorb nutrient, this will cause the tree die. The second type of organism interaction is prey and predator. The interaction is also called predation interaction, where one organism, the predator, kills and eats another organism, its prey. In this relationship, prey is the food of predator. In general, the prey is smaller in body size and weaker. The predator is bigger in body size, and strong and has sharp fangs, or nail. Mouse and owl is the example of organisms in prey and predator relationship. The third kind of interaction between organisms is competition. This interaction occurs between organisms in a habitat, to obtain resources such as food, shelter, sex partner, and sunlight. There is competition occurs among the same species. Dogs compete with each others, to get food. Kangaroos compete with each others, to get mating right. The second type of competition occurs in among different species. Cat and dog compete with each other to get living space. In a forest, small trees compete with big trees to obtain sunlight.